What's good, my friends? Welcome back to my spaceship. In this video we are going to take a look at how I created the wings for this character. We need to model a base mesh for one wing. So we are going to search for a reference image first and model a really simple mesh for the base of the wing. And in the end we are going to apply some geometry nodes to get the grid inside the wings. So I'm in Google image search right now. I'm searching for a reference image. And let's see what we can find here. And yeah, I like this one here. So let's save this one and use it in Blender. Before we are going to open this in Blender, I'm giving it a quick edit in Photoshop right now. So I'm just separating the wing that's on top. So I'm creating a new layer. Get my paintbrush and just get rid of the wing below, and I'm going to rotate it so we got it a little bit easier in Blender to model it. Okay, that's fine, and we can also crop all the white space. Okay, that's fine. Let's save this one and open our wing in Blender. Okay, first thing we can do is delete the default light and the default camera. We don't need that. And to import the reference image, you need to have the image as plane add-on enabled. If you don't got this, you can just head over to Edit, Preferences, go to your add-ons and search for images. And you should see your import image as planes add-on and just enable this. And to import images, you just head over to File, Import, and then you got a Image as Plane option here. Okay, I imported my reference image. We can select it and scale it up a bit. Something like this. And to see the image on the plane, you can just get over to the material preview. Got your wing, you can use it as a reference. Okay, let's start modeling our wing. So we are going to make the cube visible again. Select it and press S and Z to scale it down on the Z axis. Something like this is fine. And now we are going to select our wing and place the start of the wing somewhere around where the cursor is right now. So something like this is good. Okay, we can scale down the cube a bit and place it on the start of the wing. Somewhere around here is fine. And now we can go into edit mode. Make sure you use the face select and select the face that is on the right side. And now you can scale it up to make it bigger. So to do this, press S and then Shift and Z. So now you are just scaling up on the X and Y axis and not on the Z axis. So if you don't do this and just press S and scale it, you see that it gets bigger on the Z axis too, and we don't really want that right now. So just press S and Shift and Z. And now you can scale it up so it matches the reference image. Okay, and now we can press E to extrude. So get into the top view, press E, extrude it a bit. Now press S again and Shift and Z. And now we can use the vertex select mode. You need to toggle on the X-ray for this. And just select both points on the bottom here with X-ray enabled. Get into the top view, press G and then move your points around. Okay, that's fine. I'm going into the face select again, selecting this one, get into the top view, press E to extrude it, and then S and Shift and Z again to scale it up. And you can press G here too to move it around. And yeah, I'm doing this for the whole wing now. Okay, now we got the base mesh for our wing. We can go to the beginning of the wing and also make it a little bit smaller there. So I'm going to extrude it again and press S and then Shift and Z to scale it down and G to move it. So, and that's fine for now. We are going to use a subdivision surface on this one, so the edges also get a little bit smoother. Okay, I'm going back into the object mode, so just tab and you are back in object mode. We can hide the reference image now, select our wing and add a new modifier. We're going to use the subdivision surface, and let's use 2 levels for this. Okay, next thing we are going to do is add a curve. So press Shift A and add a Bezier curve. We can head over to the geometry options of the Bezier curve. Go to geometry, and under bevel you can increase the depth. So I'm going into the top view. We can go into the solid view also and disable the X-ray. And with G I'm moving this around. In the top view you can press tab to get into edit mode, and now you can select the points and move them around with G. Pressing R to rotate it, and if you press E you can extrude the curve, and R to rotate it again. So, and if you press Option and S when selecting a point, you can make them smaller, and we're going to use this for the ends of the curve. And I'm using G again to move this around. And R to rotate the point. So now we can do this for the rest of the wing. So I'm adding another Bezier curve, G to move it around, and on the ends you can use Option S again to make them a little bit smaller. And E to extrude. Yeah, I'm just freestyling the curves right now. You can also use the reference image if you want to be more accurate. Okay, adding another Bezier curve, and just repeat this process until you're happy with your wings. Okay, this is what I ended up with. You can spend a lot more time on it and make it as good as you want it to be. And yeah, I'm going into the object mode again, and let's create a quick base for the start of the wing. And for this I'm using a cube, so press Shift A, search for cube. We are going into the modifier tab, and add a subdivision surface and give it a level of 4. Now we are going to scale it down and place it somewhere where the wing starts. We're gonna scale it down on the Z-axis a bit. And now we can go into the sculpting tab and just deform it a bit with the grab tool. So search for the grab tool here in the sidebar and just deform it a bit. And we can apply the subdivision surface. So we're going into the modifier tab again and apply the subdivision surface. And now with the grab tool you can deform it a bit. Okay, let's leave it at that. Okay, now we can add our geometry nodes. So just select the base of the wing, press Shift D and right click to duplicate it. We're gonna hide one wing in the viewport. And let's drag us a new window and change this one to geometry nodes. Okay, now we can add a new geometry node. And what we also can do is add an wireframe modifier. So go over to your modifier and add a wireframe, and you can leave it at that for now. So select the geometry nodes in the modifier tab again, and let's start with our geometry node setup. Okay, first thing we need is a dual mesh, so press Shift A and search for dual mesh. Drag this in here. Now we need an extrude mesh. And set the offset scale to something lower, for example 001. So we want the geometry nodes to be closer to the original mesh, so just set the offset scale to something low like 0.1. And now we need a scale element. Drag this in here and put the scale down to something like 0.2. And now we need a delete geometry. And what you want to do is put the top from the extrude mesh into the selection and also in the selection of the delete geometry. Now we can add an extrude mesh and put the offset scale to 0.0003. Now we need a merge by distance. Put the distance to 1 meter and a subdivision surface. And now we need to change the delete geometry to faces, and the merge by distance should be connected. And now you get this. And if you want to increase the density of the mesh, you can use the subdivision surface node and give it more levels. Now you get something like this. And yeah, definitely try to play around with the numbers here. For example, the scale elements. If you drag it down, you get a more evenly distributed mesh. And I can use 0.2 for this. Let's see what this here does. Yeah, you want this number to be a little bit lower, so the mesh doesn't expand over the original mesh. Use the subdivision surface to give it even more density. So you get something like this, which looks pretty nice, I think. Okay, here's the geometry nodes tree. If you want to take a look at it, you can pause here and copy it. And yeah, have fun with it. Okay, I have added the glass dispersion material we created in another video. I leave the link down in the description so you can check it out. Yeah, I put the material on this part of our wing, our original mesh we created. And let's see how this looks. So for this I'm going into the render tab, change to cycles, get these samples down in the viewport to something like 30. And let's place an area light behind the wing. So Shift A, area light, get it to the side view, press R and 180 to rotate it. Just scale it up a bit. And let's give it a power of 1000, or let's say 500. And let's see how this looks. I'm gonna scale it up a bit on the X-axis. And yeah, this is basically how you create the wing. As you can see, the material we created in another video really fits for this kind of wing, because you get these different colors from the dispersion material. And if you want to add a material to your geometry nodes, you can just use a set material node in the end, plug this in here and choose your material. Yeah, I tried around with this method a lot and made a couple of renders from it. You definitely need to play around with the geometry node values to get different results. And yeah, have fun with it. And if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hopefully see you in the next one.